Okay, we're back. As you know, we're normally all about F1 news, but today, the only F1 news is we are about to enjoy qualifying for the Baku Grand Prix, Azerbaijan. It's been very, very good. So I'm expecting a really quite an exciting qualifying session. We've seen such promising data coming out from Ferrari with Hamilton. Quick, Leclerc, quick. Verstappen did sort of pull a lap out of the bag in FP3. Just reminding everybody that he likes to leave it late until he shows the grid how competitive that Red Bull is. And actually, that Red Bull looks pretty competitive for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Whatever improvements they brought to Monza to really, well, for Max's very impressive pole position and race win by over 20 seconds, it's a very interesting time for Red Bull, because if they have brought those improvements to Azerbaijan, Max did put in a quick lap in FP3. We could be in for a very, very exciting qualifying, which is what it's all about. So I hope you've got your cups of tea ready. I hope you've got your mugs. Get in the chat. Have your say. Have you been enjoying free practice? Did you watch FP1, 2 and 3? Did you appreciate Lewis Hamilton going fastest of all in FP2? And actually, him and Leclerc have been neck and neck. Very, very close to both Ferraris. And this is a Leclerc specialist track. He's qualified pole 4 times here. So I'm expecting a strong Ferrari performance really today. And also, it's so difficult to overtake on this track. I'll just remind you, actually. So if you're not 100% sure of the track, let me enlighten you. I do have it in my graphics. There we are. Okay, so here we go. This is what the track is like here in Azerbaijan, in Baku. And as you can see, you've got this long straight, which is a DRS zone. We've got another DRS zone, Sector 1, Sector 2. Sorry, Sector 1, Sector 2. And then this sector here, Sector 3, which is the intricate sort of, they're almost like 90-degree like rights, lefts going through the old town. Quite beautiful, actually. Going past 12th century monuments. It's an exciting track to watch. Not an easy track to overtake. Very, very easy to put the car in the wall. And we're going to see that. We are going to see the odd mistake. And the thing is here that if you make that mistake, your qualifying could be over very, very quickly. So it's an exciting time. This qualifying is going to be good. I'm going to give you some predictions, because having watched all the FP1, FP2, FP3, my predictions, this is what I think. I think we're going to see a Ferrari on the front row of the grid. I did originally think it would be Leclerc. He was my prediction for driver of the day. For race pace, he was my prediction for driver of the day. But Hamilton has been so impressive in free practice. We really could see Hamilton putting in his best performance of the season. And this isn't historically a good track for Hamilton. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm here for it. And qualifying is literally about to start in 5 minutes time. But get in the chat. I want you to tell me, who do you think is going to hit pole? Because Max Verstappen, again, super good pace. He showed his pace in FP3. The car's looking better. They have made some improvements to the setup of that car. But if you're watching right now, get in the chat. I want to hear your predictions. Who do you think is going to take? Who do you think the front two are going to be on the grid today in qualifying? We'll play the qualifying game. And I want, I'm going to go left field. I think pole is going to be Oscar Piastri. I'm going to go P2 in qualifying. I'm going to go with, oh, it's hard to bet against Leclerc. It is hard. I mean, he could get pole, but I might even go Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton. How about that for a front three? And then Norris or Verstappen, P4. I'm going to go with that. That's going to be my guess. Hey, motorsport fan, great to have you back. Azerbaijan GP extended to 2030. It's good because it's a good track. I mean, it's a good track for, like, it's a pretty track. I like street circuits, and it does take an epic overtaking maneuver to get past at certain parts of the track. But you've got 2 DRS zones, so there are overtaking spots, but you know, they're on the straights really. But we have seen Piastri do quite a sick overtaking move, actually. Which corner was it? Last year, because Oscar Piastri obviously was last year's winner in Baku. So it's obviously a decent track for him. I'm going to throw a left field one out there. The Aston Martins have not looked good, by the way. But this is a good track for Lance Stroll. A little bit of trivia for you. Lance Stroll, at 18 years old, scored his first podium here. He got P3 in 2017. Trivia. And he was one of the youngest drivers in F1 history to get a podium at 18. Lance Stroll, yeah. How about that? Motorsport fan, did you realise the trend in the F1 season these past years? F1 extend their contracts with these respective tracks like last minute before quali or the race even started. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Do you know what I think that is? I think they wait to see the numbers, right? So when they talk about contracts with circuits, they're probably waiting to see the numbers. How many people, how many tickets have they sold? How many people, you know, are there? Viewing rates, numbers, blah, blah, blah. And it's probably because everyone goes, oh, yeah, it's the same as last year. We've got the right amount of numbers to make it financially viable. But but it's not just that, is it? It's not just the race. It's all of the businesses around the race. All those people come into an area to watch the Grand Prix. It's the hotels make money, the restaurants make money, the bars make money, the supermarkets, the shops. Everyone's making money by having all those people and having a Grand Prix. So there's a lot to it. It costs them money, quite a lot of money to host a Grand Prix. To the FIA, it's a fortune. But ultimately, if it is a net positive experience for the location, for the country, and for the city, well then, yeah, they want the F1 there. But yeah, this is going to be... I'm so excited for this, actually. I'm really excited for a number of reasons. Because I think for the first time, we may actually see 3 teams really could put this car on pole. I think, you know, you've got the wild card, which is Red Bull and Max Verstappen and what he can do in that car. That could go on pole. You've obviously got both McLarens. Either of those could be pole. And now, from looking at the pre-practice, you've got both Ferraris. Either of them could be on pole. So this is going to be exciting qualifying. I'm here for it. I've got my coffee. I've got my television in front of me here so I can see exactly what's happening. This is going to be good. Got some funky graphics when people get knocked out. Yeah, I think it's good. We're gonna have a good fun. How long we got? Okay, track officially open. Looks a bit windy, doesn't it? The weather has played a part, apparently. The weather over there, the wind has been affecting lap times. And now I'm seeing it. I don't know if you're watching this live as well. But yeah, there is a lot of wind. They're just taking us through the circuit, the left-hand turn up to the monument, that 12th century building. Very, very beautiful. But because it's a street circuit, the walls are literally right on you. You can't really ride curbs. Any minor, tiny mistake, you touch the wall, qualifying over for you. Yeah, it's millimeters can be the difference, which is why we saw a lot of the cars actually in free practice. They really were riding close to the wall, finding the ragged edge, finding the limits. But they're all, this is it now. This is the business end. This is go time. But if you want to get in the chat and tell me who you think is going to hit pole today, for me, you've got this. It could be your wild cards Verstappen. He did it in Monza, but this is a different track, different levels of downforce, lots more 90 degrees lefts and rights. So it shouldn't suit the Red Bull from what we know of the car this season. Yet Max showing us in FP3 that actually he can get that car around the track pretty darn quick. So it's all about who's got the nerve now. Like I said, Leclerc coming into this qualifying with 4 previous pole positions. And did you know a little bit of trivia? Who's won more times in Baku than any other F1 driver? Answers in the chat if you know. So the question is, who has won more times than any other F1 driver in Baku? Yeah, straight in there, motorsport fan. Yeah, absolutely right. It is Checo. And do you know how many wins he's had? It's not many, but it's more than anyone else. Yeah, exactly right. He's the only driver to have won twice. It's true. Yep, absolutely correct. Checo, and he is back, baby, in 2026. Okay, so Q1 started 17 and a half minutes, and they're making their way out. Now, I expect the track to get quicker throughout qualifying. Saubers are out on track now. Ferraris are out. Important thing, Q1, get your banker lap. That's going to get you through to Q2. You know, but the track will get quicker throughout qualifying. So I'll expect the last few minutes of Q1 to be action stations. So Motorsport Fan says 2016 was Rosberg, 2017 was Ricciardo, 2018 was Hamilton, 2019 was Bottas, 2021 is Perez, 2022 is Verstappen, 23 is Perez, and last year is Piastri. Absolutely correct. Those are your winning drivers here in Baku. And that win for Piastri actually last year will do him the world of good coming into this race weekend. Okay, so he's got like a 30-point lead over Norris, give or take. The most important thing for Piastri, though, is he cannot put that car in the wall, can he? Because if Norris gets a good finish and Piastri ends up with a DNF, the World Driver Championship is all back on between those two. So will we see a more conservative drive from Piastri this weekend? I don't know. He seems pretty aggressive. I think he wants to win. And I like that about him. But yeah, the most important thing for him is if he puts that car on the wall, it really brings Norris back in contention for the Drivers' Championship, doesn't it? So will that be playing in his mind? Will it affect his qualifying? The thing is, but qualifying is so important here. So difficult to overtake. And because qualifying is so important that they can't really not go balls to the wall and go for it, can they? I mean, that's why I like that's why I'm quite excited about Ferrari's qualifying well, because with the experience of Hamilton or Leclerc, if they put that car in P1, they can really control the race from out front. So yeah, it's an exciting one. This really, like I said, two DRS zones. So there are overtaking possibilities, but it tends to be on the straight. Albon, first to be putting up a time. So we saw in FP3 them getting into the 141s on the medium and soft tyres. We'll see what Alexander Albon's time is for this lap for a marker. Like I said, 141s was where we got to. 141s is the benchmark from FP3 and FP2. Albon's going to be the first car to register a time, and he's 143.7. You know, 143.7. Bortoletto's done a 143.8. Hulkenberg's done a 144. Behrman's put a 143.1. His first lap. Nico Hulkenberg currently under investigation for overtaking under a yellow flag in free practice. Will he receive a penalty? Yet to see. Carlos Sainz has done a 142.6. And he's put himself in P1. Hadjar's put a time of 143.1, P3. None of the big hitters put a time up yet. Nothing from Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc. Lawson, just as I say it, goes 142.4 and goes P1 at the early stage of Q1. 13 minutes left to go. Carlos Sainz is just 0.2 behind Lawson. Alonso's put a time in. He is 0.5, half a second behind Lawson in P3. Again, we're still waiting for the big hitters. We're waiting. Tsunoda just put a time in on the medium tyre. Everyone else running the soft tyre. So Tsunoda's put a time on the medium tyre and he's 0.4 behind Lawson. Putting that car P3 at the moment in Q1. Leclerc currently fastest in Sector 1, fastest in Sector 2, about to cross the line, and he's done a 41.9. That's put him P1 in Q1. Hamilton, well, Hamilton's gone P4, but he is 7.5 behind his teammate. Not quick enough. Not quick enough. It's going to take a 141, I think, to go through to Q2. Hamilton, Leclerc just in the 141s with a 141.9. Hamilton running the soft tyre. Leclerc running the soft tyre. Norris just put a time in on the medium tyre. He's gone P2, but still 0.4 behind Leclerc's time. Remember, this is Leclerc's track. Verstappen on a time here with the fastest middle sector. He's gone second fastest, but he's still a 142.2. Oh, red flag, red flag. Alexander Albon has hit the wall. These walls are unforgiving. And Alexander Albon has hit the wall. He won't be the first. Well, he won't be the last, I'll tell you. He might be the first in qualifying, but he won't be the last. It's a very, very narrow track. Let's see. We're just watching it now. Okay, end of the main straight. 90-degree left-hander. Oh, he's clipped. He's broke his front suspension. He hit the apex of the corner, hit the barrier. That's actually a mistake. That's a mistake. That's a rookie error. It's a rookie error from Albon. Yeah, because it's on the entry of the corner, not even on the exit. Most times you'll see the cars hitting the wall is because it's the exit of the corner, and they drift out too wide and hit the wall. But he's clipped his front left on the entry to the corner, the apex. It's a mistake. It's a rookie mistake. Red flag. Session stopped while they clear up the debris off the track from Albon's mishap. Well, that's a mistake. So it's going to be down to Carlos Sainz to try and put a decent qualifying time in for the Williams team, because Williams are P5 at the moment in the constructors, and it's a very good result considering when Voles took over at Williams, they were a P9 team out of 10. He's got them up to P5. To be fair to Alexander Albon, he's the guy who's been doing all of the heavy lifting, scoring all the points for the teams. I'm going into the chat. Yeah, Motorsport fan. Yeah, it is a crazy stat that Leclerc hasn't won here yet. So he's qualified on pole 4 times and hasn't won here. Crazy. Maybe today. Maybe today. Well, this weekend, I should say. Yeah, Williams is supposed to be looking quick here, and Albon is out of quality just like that. Well, you know, Williams... we've been watching free practice together, haven't we? Motorsport fan. And Williams have been pretty competitive. Albon's been putting in some pretty decent times. I think he was P5 in FP2, wasn't he? But that wasn't even... that was not a mechanical failure with the car, was it? That was driver error. Albon putting it into the wall on the entry of the corner, not even on the exit, which is where we tend to see cars hitting the wall on this circuit. It's from overcooking the exit of the corner, drifting out wide and touching the wall. But yeah, this is not great for Albon. That's a shame because he was looking good. But Carlos Sainz has been looking better, so maybe he will, you know, really raise the Williams flag in quali. But whilst we've got the pause, they're all got the tyre warmers going back on, all cars back in the pits whilst they clean the track up after Alexander Albon making that rookie error, to be honest. How to give him time when he's already crashed out of the session. He's already been in Formula 1 since 2. Yeah, well, he has. Albon's not a rookie, is he? You know, and he's been doing great. That just was a mistake. That just was a mistake. Everyone can have a bad day at the office, but bad timing. You don't want that bad day at the office to be in qualifying. Have your bad day in FP1 when you're pushing to find the limits. Yeah, it is a rare error from Albon, to be honest. That's why I'm not really going in on him hard. I'm watching the replay now to see if there's any. No. It didn't snap into the corner either. It actually looks like he was coming into the corner too slowly. It's a really bad error, that. It's an interesting one because it's his inside left, his left front on the apex of the corner. He's just taken his eye off the ball like he didn't know the width of his car. There's no snap under braking. There's no... When you watch the replay, there's nothing to indicate a bump in the track, a snap under braking, or anything external that could have caused that error. It was just an error. And he hasn't made many of those this season. Maybe he was texting while he was driving, messing with the radio. I don't know, but it was, yeah, it was an unforced error for sure. Now all the guys are doing they're still to clean up the track. Oh, they're back out. They're coming back out. They're restarting. 11 minutes 33 left of this Q1 session. A queue now. So the track's going to get busy. Everyone's coming out. No one's waiting. So we've got a mixture of cars on the mediums and softs. I've not really seen a big advantage in speed on the softs, to be honest, over free practice. The medium has been, in my opinion, the better tyre, actually. That fastest time that Hamilton put in, I think, in FP2 was on the mediums as well. So, yeah, is there a speed advantage on the softs? Well, there should be, but we haven't seen it in practice. Will we see it in qualifying? Okay, so all of the drivers queuing down the pit lane, waiting to restart this Q1 session. Currently, Leclerc P1, Verstappen P2, Norris P3, Lawson P4, Sainz P5, Russell P6, Hamilton P7. All this is arbitrary, really, because none of these times will be good. So, well, Leclerc's time's pretty good. He's in the 141s. It'll be enough to get through to Q2, I would have thought. It's a banker. Hamilton, though, still his time was 7/10 off that pace. So Liam Lawson's car's back in the pits for some reason. So Liam Lawson's car back in the pits before the restart of Q1. And you've got to remember, Lawson's put that car P4 at the moment. He's been pretty competitive in free practice. And he has been quicker than Hadjar over this weekend so far, which is what he needs to do. Because you've got to remember, Lawson is fighting for his seat for next year in that Racing Bull. Please excuse my lockets. My throat is like razor blades. Yeah, I agree with you, Motorsport fan. Motorsport fan says he has a feeling that this is the same as Imola. Mediums might be better than softs here. I think from the data that I've seen and we've seen while we've been watching free practice, the mediums don't seem any slower than the softs, but they do have the added advantage of you can do a lot more laps on the medium. So the medium tyre choice this weekend is looking very good. But we'll know more by end of qualifying because we'll see the hottest laps of the qualifying and see what their tyre choice is. But I haven't seen a real advantage in speed with the soft tyre. Huge queue of cars in the pit lane. Not letting them back out yet. So Kimi Antonelli missing the double yellow. The same thing Oscar Piastri did in free practice. It's just where the light is to the virtual safety car. The drivers aren't seeing it. Piastri didn't see it. Piastri got a reprimand under it, but he didn't get any penalty. He just got a telling off. But we'll see what happens with Antonelli because they do take a very dim view of drivers ignoring yellow flags. Yeah. Well, we're back on now. Just 9 minutes left of Q1. Okay. We've still yet to see any times from Piastri. Piastri's not even put a time up yet. Norris P3. Gemma says, have I got snacks for this? I've got lockets. Because I've got a sore throat. So I've got some lockets. My throat, I've got, yeah. Have you got snacks for this? I did have some popcorn, actually, Gemma. I did have some popcorn that I had left over from last night. So I had a bit of that, a bit of popcorn before I started the live stream. But snacks would be a great idea. Okay, so Leclerc's on the softs, Verstappen's on the mediums. Okay, Piastri's on a flyer. Antonelli on a lap as well. Antonelli had a snap there. Caught it well. Got to avoid the traffic. Antonelli has to abort that lap. Not good. Not an easy track, this. Not an easy track. So Piastri's on a lap. So we're really looking for in the 141s is where these, what they need to do to get through to Q2, I would say. Sonoda, he's within a tenth and a half of Verstappen on the medium tire. That's a good, that's good. Hamilton gone P1 with a 141.8 in Q1. That will be enough, I am sure, to take him through to Q2. Leclerc, 1.5 tenths behind Hamilton. Piastri is 2 hundredths behind Hamilton in P2. Verstappen. Oh, I think Verstappen's had to abandon a lap. He was quickest in Sector 2 as well. Hulkenberg's had an off. He's damaged his wing. What is it with Hulkenberg and qualifying? He just can't get to grips with it. Hulkenberg's out. I don't know what it is, motorsport fan. What Hulkenberg has just got. Oh, look at that. It's locked up. Put it in the wall. Wow. No, motorsport, no. Hulkenberg's not had a good qualifying run this season. He's been really not good in qualifying. Yeah, this season he has not done well. I mean, let's be honest, that Sauber is a shitbox, if I'm honest. I'm looking forward to seeing what Audi can do with that team when they get hold of it. It's not just about the power unit. It's Audi tends to do well in every discipline of motorsport they get involved with, don't they? Whether it's a Dakar rally, whether it's World Rally Series, whether it's Audi, just are good. Yeah, but Bortoletto's definitely going to out-qualify Hulkenberg today. For Bortoletto, it's just about, can he get through to Q3? I mean, you get a Sauber into Q3, you've already performed way higher than that car should be doing. Bag of spanners. Yeah, the Sauber car is a bag of spanners. Yeah, I agree with you. Bortoletto has found his form since Austria. Although he hasn't put a time in yet. Got another red flag. Session stopped at 6 minutes 36. Hamilton still P1. Well, that's Hamilton's safety through to Q2 for sure. Leclerc, Q2, no problem. Piastri's put a time in. They've all got bankers in. Noticeable absences though. George Russell, P9, at risk. So currently, you've got Stroll P16, Albon P17. Well, we know he's out. Bortoletto P18, Hulkenberg P19. We know he's gone. Antonelli P20. Antonelli still needs to put a time in. Antonelli still not registered a time. If he doesn't make it through to Q2, then that would be a disaster for Antonelli. Another disaster off the back of the comment from Toto Wolff after Monza, where Toto Wolff literally said his performance was underwhelming. He cannot afford to have a bad quali. So, oh, Colapinto hitting the wall. No surprise there. He has form for hitting the wall. Oh, yeah. Anthony got his lap time deleted. Right. Wow. So, Oscar Piastri just managed to get his latest lap time in, which put him P2 within like a second before they put the red flag up. So we're on a yellow flag, track hazard. 6 minutes 36 left of Q1. I have a feeling this is going to be a theme. I think there'll be more people putting the car in the wall. Maybe Q2. Okay, they're coming back out now. Yeah, Motorsport fan, you're right. This qualifying session is going to be stop-start, I'm sure. It's too easy to put the car on the wall. And everyone's going to be pushing for that quick lap. Everyone knows how important it is to get a good qualifying time in. Because overtaking is just so difficult on this track. Dog causing carnage. Wait, sit down. Yeah, 6 minutes 36 left. How long does it take to clear up? Yeah, I think motorsport fans are right. This is going to be a long qualifying. But it must be like for the drivers when they have these breaks in qualifying. Their rhythm, they need to continue to stay focused, because it really does break their rhythm. Hamilton's quite happy though, sitting in P1. He knows he's through to Q2. He's done the hard work in Q1 already. So Lance Stroll is under investigation for a yellow flag infringement as well. I think there's a problem with them actually seeing these virtual yellow flags. Well, fuck, you see the wind? Look how windy it is there. I mean, if the wind picks up, it could affect qualifying times. Only 5.5 minutes left now. So we need to see times from, well, Antonelli is the one, really. Stroll needs to put in a lap. We know Albon's going to be out in Q1. We know Hulkenberg's going to be out in Q1. They're not getting back out, are they? So is Hulkenberg going to get a chance to put a lap in? Was it just front wing damage? So Kimi Antonelli desperately needs to put a lap time in here if he wants to make it through to Q2. Ocon's at risk. He's down in P15 as well. So, Ocon's really needs to put a time in here. Still got Stroll to put a time in. So, Hamilton's come out to do another lap. Piastri's out to do another lap. Leclerc's out to do another lap. Verstappen's out to do another lap. Tsunoda, Norris. And they are all your top 6 at the moment. All coming out to put in another lap. Sainz currently P8. Lawson P7. Hadjar's down in P14. He needs to put a lap in. He wants to make it through to Q2. He's at risk here. Antonelli really needs to put a time in here. Sector 1, he's nearly 6/10 off the pace, off Hamilton's pace. He just needs to get a banker lap in that'll take him through to Q2, resettle. Leclerc, fastest of all in Sector 1. Norris, fastest of all, Sector 1. Two minutes left. All drivers I can see here on quick laps. Russell's gone P1 with a 1:41.6. a good lap. Good lap for Russell. It's been quiet. Good lap. That's definitely taken through to Q2. Leclerc goes P1. It is a good track for him. 141.4. Times are tumbling now. Everyone's getting into the 141s, which is where you need to be. Norris goes P1 now with a 141.3. Verstappen, fastest first sector of all. This is a quick lap for Verstappen. He's currently P2. Very close to Norris's time. Hadjar needs to put a time in here. Liam Lawson's been quicker than Hadjar all weekend so far. Behrman's up to 11th. Colapinto, 12th. Hadjar, are you going to improve? See, Hadjar's at risk. He's currently down in 16th. He'll be out if he does not put a better time in. Lawson's up in P9. Hulkenberg's P13. He managed to get back out there and put a time in. Lawson's P8, faster than Yuki Tsunoda. Hadjar, there you go. He's put his time in. He's only just 3/10 behind Norris. He's put that Racing Bulls in P5. Well done, Hadjar. That's his first really quick lap I've seen him do all weekend. Stroll puts the Aston Martin P8. Wow. Alonso P9. The Aston Martin's showing a little bit of pace for the first time this weekend. And they will be through to Q2. Red flag. No restart. Session over. So that... Wow. So Colapinto out. Hulkenberg out. Esteban Ocon out. Gasly out. Albon is eliminated in Q1. Pierre Gasly out in Q1. Colapinto out in Q1. Oh, he's put it in the wall again. It's Colapinto's fault, by the way. There's no way he keeps his drive. How can he keep his drive for 2026? There's no way. Okay, so Colapinto out. We've got who else we got out? We've got Nico Hulkenberg out in Q1. And finally, we have got Esteban Ocon out in Q1. Yeah, the wooden. You're right. Another Colapinto crash. Who would have thought it? Ah, well, those are your drivers that are out. Colapinto, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, Albon, all out in Q1. But it is setting us up for a Q2 to get excited about. Because at the top, again, we're seeing some significant pace from the McLarens, from Verstappen, from the Ferraris, and even George Russell putting a decent time there out of nowhere because they have not been quick through practice. Yeah, Antonelli, by the skin of his teeth, he put in a time, got through to Q2, was looking like a disaster for a moment there. But yeah, so Esteban Ocon is not happy. I can see him getting out of his car. He is not happy. Ollie Behrman, 3.5 tenths faster than him, just scraping through to Q2 in P15. Well, well, there we go. This is going to be a long qualifying session. Yeah, you're right. The wooden. Yeah, Behrman. Right, Behrman is a talking point for me because out and out speed, I think he's quick. But Esteban Ocon, actually, according to my over performance index, is having a great season. He was actually halfway through the season was overperforming where the car should be. So Esteban Ocon scored 28 points so far in the Haas, and he's P13 in the driver's standings. Oliver Behrman now is P17 with 16 points. Esteban Ocon's first half of the season in that Haas, he was performing way better than the expectation of the car. And Behrman is quick, but Behrman makes mistakes. I know he's a rookie and he's making some rookie errors. He's managed to rack up in the last 12 months 10 points on his super license. One more infringement and he'll get himself a one race ban. So Behrman's got some positives and negatives about him, but it is his rookie year. The best thing possible that could have happened to Behrman has happened. He's got another year's drive in that Haas. Another year. Yeah. And he's got another year to really learn his racecraft in an F1 car. But you're right. He makes rookie mistakes, but the speed is there. Yeah, he's like a bag of rawness. Ferrari love him, by the way. They adore Ollie Behrman. Like his debut, remember, where he stood in that Ferrari was exceptional. And Ferrari do like him as a future Ferrari star, or certainly as maybe a partner driver for Leclerc. And in their minds, they think, well, if he has a decent season in Haas next year, if Hamilton then moves on in 27, maybe retires, well, Behrman might be the perfect replacement, or an option anyway. So yeah, they do love Ollie Behrman is loved at Ferrari for sure, and of course the relationship between Haas and Ferrari is very, very, very close. The Haas is basically built out of the Ferrari parts bin. Not only does it run the Ferrari engine, gearbox, suspension, possibly some aero. I think the only thing that has to is probably the chassis. So yeah, they have a very special relationship, and I couldn't agree more. The wooden what Ferrari did with Behrman, Mercedes should have done with Kimi Antonelli. I think the proof is in the pudding. You know, putting Kimi Antonelli in that Mercedes, like they next year, like I said, if he doesn't keep his drive at Mercedes, we'll see him in an Alpine. We'll see him in an Alpine alongside Pierre Gasly, which wouldn't do him any harm, in my opinion. It might actually make him a much better driver. And I also agree with that Behrman will get better as time goes on. Yeah, well, because he's quick, and that's the most important thing. But it's about decision making, isn't it? And rookies, on the whole, decision making is a bit hit and miss. When to go, you know, silly mistakes that you wouldn't make if you're as an experienced F1 driver. He's made mistakes coming into the pit lane under yellow flags, red flags. That's why his super license is full of points. Oh, that Cola Pinto crash. It always puts it in the wall. You know what? If we're betting men, we should have been calling Betfred saying, listen, I want to put a bet on that Cola Pinto puts the car in the wall at some point this weekend. What odds will you give me? That's what we should be doing. My dog. My dog interfering with me. I was hoping my dog was going to bring me a cup of coffee. That would have been great if he could. Senna, do you want to go and get me a cup of coffee, mate?
Very funny.
Hang on. Senna, take this mug.
Tony, go fuck yourself.
Oh. I hope you didn't hear that. Swear words. I've got some snacks though. Do you want to see my snacks? I don't know if you can see those. Spectacular toffee cookie dunkers. But what do you need with toffee cookie dunkers? You need something to dunk them in. So if somebody could deliver me a Starbucks, that, or a Costa, or a Caffè Nero, or any good coffee supplier, I would love a coffee right now. Because I think we're in this for the long haul, gentlemen and ladies. Alex Albon playing down the damage to his Williams after putting it in to the wall, well, to the apex. Clipping that front left, damaged the push rod in the suspension. So Alex said it's an easy fix, but you are out in Q1, buddy. After having such a really promising, you were fast. He was fast in FP2 and FP3. Like I said, I think he was 5th in FP2. So Alexander Albon will be pretty upset with clipping that corner and damaging the suspension and putting it in the wall. But the damage to the car is not too bad. Car will be fine for tomorrow, but he will be starting right at the back of the grid. So it's up to Carlos Sainz. Can he deliver a performance for Williams? You know, because again, comparing the two drivers, Alexander Albon, currently P7 in the driver's standings, on 70 points, which is a good point haul for Williams. And then because Carlos Sainz hasn't contributed that much to the Williams points haul, he's P18 and he's only got 16 points. So 16 versus 70 is a big difference. And you've got to beat your teammate. I go on about it all the time. It's the only person that matters. Beat your teammate. And if you're the best team, you might be world champion, but you got to beat your teammate. So, because of Colapinto's accident, they're cleaning up the track before we head into Q2. They're going to have some track cleanup to do. Colapinto, Crasher Pinto, we should be calling him. And he's still in contention for a bloody seat at Alpine next season. How? Like, he can't be in the Alpine next year. Surely. No matter how much money he brings to the team, surely he can't be in that Alpine next year. Hey, boy. The Wooden says, should Sainz have joined the Audi project? I can't help but think he should have. Well, yeah, his dad is so connected to Audi, isn't he? I think didn't his dad race recently in the Dakar, in the Audi project car the car they built specifically for the Dakar Rally? I think he won it as well, didn't he? Didn't Carlos Sainz win the Dakar Rally in an Audi? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% up on it, but I think Carlos Sainz Sr. not that long ago won the Dakar Rally in an Audi. But yeah, it's a very good point. That's def. Yeah, he did last year. Yeah, he did. Right. Okay. So he did win the Dakar on the Audi last year. So the relationship Carlos Sainz Sr. has with Audi, you're absolutely right. It's a very good point. I wonder if that's one for the future. Oh, brilliant. Got a little coffee. Thanks, Anna. Yeah, so it's true that relationship at Audi could come into play, I would have thought, later in his career. Because how old's Carlos Sainz now? About 26? So we're going to see him around for a while. And he's a good driver. He's definitely good enough to be on the grid, isn't he? Okay, we're just going into Q2 now. So we've got 15 minutes of Q2. Yeah, we're back on. I do have a coffee for my spectacular toffee cookie dunkers. Yeah, we can be getting excited about this. But we this is going to take some time. But it's going to get exciting, I promise you this. So, really, just to recap, looking at myself and Motorsport Fan and the Wooden and Gemma and everyone who's been following FP 1, 2 and 3, by the looks of it, we've got really a handful of cars that could get on the front row. We've got Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Piastri, Norris, all with potential. Ha! The Wooden says we've just jinxed Behrman. We'll see. Hadjar, though, looking good. I wonder if you got to remember Hadjar qualified P4. Yeah, that's the class. They were looking good in practice, but we'll soon see if Behrman can put a time in. He's out on the medium, and I think the medium's a better tyre. But everyone else, we've got Behrman on the medium, Sainz on the medium, Alonso on the medium, everyone else on the soft. Just going to see what the benchmark is. Remember, we were hitting 141s in Q1. Lawson's out on the soft tyre as well. Yeah, I think the mediums are looking like the better tyre choice as well. So we've got Leclerc out now on his first flying lap of Q2. Oh, Behrman's touched the wall already. Oh, his car looks like a crab. He stopped. You're right. We have jinxed Behrman. He's touched the wall. The Wooden got it right. Jinxed it. That is game over for Haas for qualifying. They'll be starting right near the back. At least Behrman will be starting 15th. Just like that. Ah, well, they are the Ferrari spares car, aren't they? They're literally built from the Ferrari bits out the Ferrari parts bin. Oh, I don't know why Haas haven't gone more for their own development of rather than buying all the bits off Ferrari. Like, you're not going to win a world championship by having so much of a car, of someone else's car, on your car. I just don't think you are. Power unit, fair enough, but if you're getting power unit, gearbox, suspension, you know, literally everything apart from the chassis, I'm not sure that you're ever going to win a world championship. And if you're in Formula One, surely that's the goal, right? There he is. Just seen Behrman, he did touch the wall, back end. No, good point, Motorsport Fan. We were talking earlier, weren't we, that Aston Martin didn't look very good at Baku, and now we've seen big improvements. Alonso's P5 at the minute. I don't think he's put a time in though. The session's been stopped again. Red flag. 11 minutes 54. Gosh, we might be this qualifying might last all the way till what, 2 o'clock tomorrow when the race starts. We could be here for a while, guys. Are they M&S? What M&S? What, my spectacular toffee cookie dunkers? Yeah. The Marks and Spencers. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see them. You can't see the label, but yeah, they're M&S, Gemma. M&S. Posh. Got some posh cookie dunkers. I wouldn't write Alonso off, motorsport fan. You're right. They could get... Look, they could be out in Q2, for sure. But Alonso's just got it in him, hasn't he? To just put it on P6, P7. Just pull a lap out of his backside. You know, he's a wily old fox, that Alonso. And don't forget, Lance Stroll got a podium here, 2017. One of the youngest drivers ever to get a podium at 18 years old, P3. And he nearly got P2. Bottas passed him just before the checkered flag, and he ended up in P3. Lance Stroll giving him some, you know, some credit. Not many people do that. Yeah, I agree. Both Aston Martin drivers, motorsport, have got some pedigree here in Baku. But again, another pause. Q2, no one's put in a time yet. Okay, track clear. They'll all be queuing to come out again. Get this Q2 back on the road. So, who's in Q2 then? Verstappen, Leclerc, Hadjar, Hamilton, Alonso, Lawson, Tsunoda, Sainz, Behrman. Except he's out because he just touched the wall. Unless they've managed to repair whatever damage was done. I don't think they have. Did he even get it back? He didn't even get it back to the pits, did he? Behrman had to stop on track. Norris, Piastri, Stroll, Bortoletto, Russell, Antonelli. Yeah, so 11 minutes 54 left of Q2. So again, I think we're looking at Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Norris, Piastri as contenders for that front row of the grid. That's going off what we've seen in FP1, FP2, and FP3, and early and even Q1. Those are the drivers looking competitive. Leclerc has had 4 pole positions, no race wins in the recent years. But he knows how to qualify here. And you've got to remember, this track is incredibly difficult to overtake on. So qualifying is a big deal here in Baku. So it's okay to be excited about it. It's okay to be rooting for your guy. Because if you, let's say Leclerc gets pole here and he gets a good start and he manages to control the race from the front, it's going to be pretty hard to get past him. You know, it could be Ferrari's best chance of podiums this season. And Hamilton has been quick as well. So I'm really excited to see which Ferrari comes out on top out of those two, regardless of their qualifying positions. I really want to see who's faster today, Hamilton or Leclerc, because they have been tit for tat so far all weekend. Charles Leclerc, so Motorsport Fan says Charles Leclerc has been noted for a yellow flag infringement. They all keep getting noted for yellow flag infringements. It's because at the end of that straight where the virtual safety car is and the yellow lights, they're not noticing it, they're not seeing it. And it's not just him. We've seen Antonelli, Piastri, Leclerc. I think somebody else was under investigation as well for it. Like all these drivers are not ignoring the virtual safety car. It's obviously there's a problem with the positioning of where those lights are on that corner. So, and the result of Piastri's investigation was, you naughty boy, we told you in the driver's briefing to be aware of that, but no penalty. So I'm guessing the precedent's been set that anybody of doing the similar thing is we'll have a similar result. I think it'd be unfair to start handing out penalties to the other drivers who have all struggled with seeing that virtual safety car at the same point on the track. But I'm only guessing. You never know with that. Do you know what I recently found out? The FIA stewards are volunteers. They don't get paid. And it's not the same FIA stewards that travel to every single track in the circuit. So in the whole of Formula One, the people making these decisions on race day are basically volunteers who are not getting paid by the FIA. How can you have consistency across the governance of enforcing regulations at different tracks when you are using volunteers who may be very, very good, but if you don't have at least one or two members of the stewardship team traveling to each track as maybe chief stewards to give a final ruling on various infringements, we're not going to get consistency across penalties. And we don't do it. They do not pay. We've got drivers earning 40 million a year, but they can't find budget to have professional stewards that can travel with the F1 motor show. You know what I mean? It's crazy. That's why we saw Carlos Sainz's infringement against, I can't remember who it was against off the top of my head, but Williams appealed it, and then they looked at it, the FIA looked and said, yeah, you're right, it was a racing incident. I think it was against Behrman, and said, yes, it was a racing incident. He shouldn't have been penalised. Now, we don't want retrospectively, weeks later, to solve these bad decisions because through appeal from the teams. We need these things being solved on track during the race weekend. And the only way to do that is to have consistent stewardship. It's not like there's not enough money in the richest motorsport in the world to do this. It's crazy. The Wooden says, with how good AI is now, they should just develop a black and white rule book decided by AI. You know, it's funny you should say that about AI, because I think AI are going to start being the referees in pretty much over the next 10 years. Referees, human referees of all sport will be removed and AI will make those decisions. I think it's the evolution of goal line technology in football, isn't it? All of a sudden you've got an AI telling you, making the decisions, and you can't argue with a robot, right? Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how they govern this sport, but they need to do something. They need a chief steward for sure, at least one or two that travel with the F1 circus. Okay, well, they're back out now. 9 minutes. We're seeing some time starting, some hot laps starting now. So Hadjar on a hot lap, currently P4, and he's gone fastest in sector 1. Isaac Hadjar putting in a shift now. Fastest in sector 1. Tidy through the infield in sector 2. Quick. Hadjar's looking good. Is he quickest in sector 2? We're about to find out as he comes into the sector 2 marker. Carlos Sainz, fastest in sector 2. Sainz putting in a lap here. Carlos Sainz representing for Williams now with this lap. He wants to be in the 141s, really. If he wants a chance of getting through to Q3, we're looking for a 141 something. But he has gone fastest in sector 2. He's going about to put up a time. 141.6 for Carlos Sainz. P1, that's a decent time. The good banker. Hadjar, 141.9. P2. Lawson, 141.8. He's gone a 10th quicker than Hadjar into P2. You're definitely going to need to be in the 141s to get through to Q3. Stroll puts in a 143. That is not going to be good enough. That is not going to be good enough to get through. We're looking in 141s. You've got a chance into Q3. Alonso doing a 150. Norris, 141.39. Puts in P1. Just 2.5 tenths quicker than Sainz. Antonelli's gone quickest in sector 2. Yellow flag. Green flag. Wow. Virtual say yellow flag for 0.1 of a second. Back to green flag. Shouldn't have affected anyone's lap times. You've got to get these banker laps in, guys. You've only got 6 minutes left. Norris, 141.3. Russell, another 141.3. Antonelli, a 141.4. Piastri. Okay, order has changed. Norris now P1. Russell P2. Antonelli P3. Keeping pace with Russell. Doing a good job so far. Piastri P4. Carlos Sainz still with a decent lap. Looking good for Q3. P5. Lawson P6. Hadjar P7. Stroll P8. Bortoleto P9. Alonso P10. Hamilton still to put in a time. He's on a lap now though. Doesn't look too good. Not a good lap for Hamilton. P8. 1.5 seconds off the pace. He's going to have to go again and put another... He's got 6 minutes to put a better lap in, Hamilton. Leclerc still to put a time in as well. Verstappen on a quick lap. See how he does on this middle sector. He needs to get the 116s. It's 1.5 seconds off the pace for Verstappen. That is not going to be good enough. 5 minutes left of Q2. Yeah, motorsport fan. Leclerc is having a nightmare in Q2 at the moment. He has still got time to put a time in. He still has not registered a time in Q2. Maybe he's trying to pick his spot to get a clean run, but Verstappen's put a banker in. He's done well. He's gone P2. That's Verstappen going to be through to Q3. Oh, Piastri hitting the wall. Oh, he's clipped the wall there. I don't think he's done any damage. I think he's got away with it. But he has clipped that wall again. So the Wooden says it's going to be an interesting tyre strategy this race. What with the teams using up the mediums in qualifying? That's true. And also, here's the other thing. It's not just a tyre strategy with this race. As you can see, how many cars are hitting the wall and bringing out safety cars. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting race because safety cars are going to play a part, guaranteed. And that will mean the pit strategy tied in with what will happen with the safety cars. It really is going to make the race quite interesting. So currently only 3 minutes 50 seconds left, and Norris currently P1, Verstappen P2. At the moment, Leclerc is in the danger zone, P14, Alonso P13, Bortoleto P12, Hamilton P10 also in the danger zone. Stroll Hamilton's on a quick lap now though. Let's see what he can do. He needs to put a time in here. Let's see how he does in this first sector. He needs to put a banker in here. Not bad. Not bad. He's only 1/10 behind Norris in that first sector. Hamilton on a lap that is looking pretty good. How will he do through the tricky middle sector of the race, coming up past the monument? The narrowest part of the track. Still looking good in this middle sector. So how close is he to Norris's time? Okay, 6/10 behind Norris's time, but it's quicker than his last. It's quicker than his previous lap time. This could be the bank that gets him through to Q3. It's definitely not going to put him P1. But he just needs to get through to Q3, right? Coming up to the line. Oh, he's still P10. Might not be good enough. 2 minutes left. So what about Leclerc? Can he put in a good time? Because he is in P14 at the moment. He's not looking... He's got the fastest sector in Sector 2. Excellent. Leclerc looks like he's really making up some time in that second sector, middle sector. Alonso, we talked about it. Alonso, we put it up to P8. Hamilton, P11. Leclerc puts it P4. So Hamilton, has he got another lap left in him? Wow, Leclerc doing a good job there. Put it P4. He's safely through to Q3. Touching, scraping the wall, Leclerc. It's got him through to Q3. Has Hamilton got one more lap left before? Can he do one more lap? Max looking quick. You're right, the Wooden. Max looking quick. He's very close to Norris's time. I just don't know if Hamilton is on another hot lap before the end of Q2. 30 seconds left. Did they fuel him enough to get another hot lap in? But we talked about it before. Alonso able just to pop an okay time in. He might just scrape through to Q3. Antonelli, P5. Faster than Leclerc. So at the moment, it's Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc. Hadjar's gone faster than Carlos Sainz, P7. Sainz, P8. Lawson, P9. Alonso, P10. Tsunoda, P11. Hamilton, P12. Okay, the clock's at 0. Who's still on the track? Hamilton, knocked out. Wow. Okay. That's game over for Hamilton out in Q2. He was looking so good. But Hamilton out in Q2. So Verstappen's on a lap. Tsunoda's on a lap. Tsunoda does have an opportunity to improve. Can he get a couple of tenths to knock Alonso into the elimination zone? So Hamilton out. I can tell you as well that Lance Stroll out in Q2. Tsunoda gets through P10, makes it through to Q3, and that means Fernando Alonso out Q2. So both Aston Martins out in Q2. Yeah, I think Motorsport is probably where they expected to be, right? Out in Q2. We know Behrman's already out. And I think that's it for Bortoleto as well. So we also lose the Sauber. The Sauber of Bortoleto also out in Q2. So, who's in Q1 now? We've got Verstappen, fastest of all. Norris, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc, Lawson. Well done, Lawson. Hadjar, Sainz, Tsunoda. Good, well done to Carlos Sainz, by the way. It's a good result for him. Getting that Williams into Q3. It's a good result. Especially after what happened to Alexander Albon, putting it in the wall. So that shootout. Which driver? So now we're down to Verstappen, Norris, Piastri. George Russell looking not bad. I had him down as P4 in my prediction. But Leclerc is... My Max, by the way, is faster than I thought he was going to be here. I honestly didn't think Max was going to be as quick as he is. Truthfully, I know you should never write off Max Verstappen, especially after what he did in Monza, but I just didn't think that Red Bull car would work well here. But Max proved me wrong. Mighty Max showing me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's so really now pole position could be Max, Norris, Piastri, Leclerc. I think any one of those could take pole in Q3. It's still all to play for. Going to the chat. So Motorsport fan says, honestly, I was expecting both Aston Martins out in Q1 or only one to get through, with Alonso only qualified P15 at best. Well, you know, you're right. Aston Martins didn't look good, did they, when we were watching them in FP1, 2 and 3? We weren't particularly impressed with them, were we? They weren't great. They weren't great. So, yeah, it's the fact that they made it through to Q2. And to be fair, Alonso only really just missed out in Q3. They're probably pitching at the right place. That's probably where they're up to, that team. But yeah, Gemma said, I said Max for tomorrow. You did. I remember Gemma on the preview show. You said Mighty Max, didn't you, for the race? You did. You did. You did say Mighty Max. You see, this track, I know the Wooden's saying about a low downforce track like Monza. See, this track, I feel, is a bit of a mix. I feel that if you looked at the wings that were being run on the back of the Ferraris, they had a higher downforce wing and a lower downforce wing. And weirdly, when Lewis Hamilton put his fastest time in FP2, he was running a higher downforce wing for the section which takes you through the 90 degrees lefts and rights. So this track, I don't think it's as low downforce as Monza. It sort of fits that sort of medium for me. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting track because you have got that longer straight now. Yes, Gemma, it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. Yeah, the preview show predictions. I mean, I put all my eggs in the Leclerc basket, didn't I, as my driver of the day? So, Motorsport fan says, at least the positive for Aston Martin is they seem to be able to find some performance overnight to prepare it. Yeah, they do. Aston Martin can tend to find a little bit of performance from the garage. They do. I'm going to try one of my Marks and Spencer's cookies. Excuse me. What? Just before we've got 2 minutes before Q3 starts. And as this has been like a marathon qualifying session, I just need a little bit of biscuit. Oh my God. Oh my God, they're brilliant. So good. These Marks and Spencer's biscuits are amazing. Really do recommend them. Are you a dunker? You like to dunk your biscuits in your tea or your coffee? I'm a dunker. And they're good dunking biscuits. So, speaking about Ferrari there, Motorsport fan, I do think Lewis Hamilton is going to be pretty disappointed with that. After being really on par with Leclerc in practice, as quick, only maybe a tenth between them, I think Hamilton will feel pretty upset for going out in Q2. I do think that he probably won't be best pleased, because how's he gonna? It's not like you can carve through the field very easily on this track. You know, it's not an easy track to sort of come from the back, carve through. So I don't know. Hamilton's going to be pretty upset, especially if Leclerc now has an absolute fire Q3. And if he does, and puts that car on pole, we're going to see a very pissed off Hamilton. Okay, Q3 back underway. 12 minutes. We are at the business end now, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it gets serious. Let's see what they're made of. Yeah, Leclerc had a very messy Q2. He just managed to put... But that's the thing about qualifying, motorsport fan, is that he had a messy Q2, couldn't get a drive, and then all of a sudden he puts a hot lap in, which is competitive. Well, Hamilton had his chance for his hot lap. You had one shot. He had that one opportunity, and he just didn't... He didn't make it stick, did he? Leclerc did. And that's the difference. You can't, you know... You might only get the chance in a busy qualifying session to get that one run. So you cannot be making mistakes. And Hamilton just wasn't quick enough. Just not quick enough. I don't know whether it's the fear of putting it in the wall. But he just wasn't quick enough. Congratulations to Yuki Tsunoda, though. He's driving for his Formula One career, isn't he? Hasn't got a drive for 2026. Under no illusion, what Laurent Mekies wants him to do. Get closer to Verstappen, score points for the team, get through to Q3. Well, he's done it. He's through to Q3. So credit where it's due. So your Q3 shootout is Norris, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc, Lawson, Hadjar, Sainz, Tsunoda and Verstappen. I'm delighted to see a Williams up there. I am. After Alexander Albon made that mistake, I like Carlos Sainz, and I want him to have a good Grand Prix. I want him to have a good race. I think he needs it for his confidence. His teammates got 70 points. He's only on 16 points. You know, I'd like him to do well this weekend, just for his own confidence. I like him a lot. I think so. Wooden says, I think Ferrari are doing glory runs in practice with full engine modes, and the others are turning the engines down in practice. That actually would make sense, and I think you've spoken about this before. McLaren definitely are doing something like that, aren't they? McLaren are definitely turning the engines down in practice. But yeah, get ready for another red flag. Yeah, it's true. So 9 minutes of excitement left for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Baku circuit Grand Prix for tomorrow. It really does matter where they qualify. Horrible track to overtake on. So Russell's on a lap, Norris is on a lap. Let's see how they come out fighting. So, is my prediction going to be right? Is Leclerc going to put this Ferrari on the front row? Yeah, Leclerc's going to... Leclerc, I think, is carrying the weight of 4 pole positions at this track. He's... Oh. Who's gone off there? Russell. Russell spun into the runoff area. Yeah, he hasn't damaged the car, but already off in the runoff area. Okay, Sainz, fastest, sector 1, sector 2. Go on, Carlos. See what you're made of, son. It is raining, so this might be the best chance to put in a quick lap. Let's go. Everyone's trying to get a lap in. Sainz fastest in sector 2. Piastri fastest in sector 1. What's his time? Sainz is putting a respectable time there. 1:41.5 on the mediums. Currently P1. Lawson P2. Hadjar P3. Piastri on a fast time here. Piastri's my winner of the Grand Prix, to be honest. That's why I think is going to win the Grand Prix. I said it in the preview show. Piastri coming up to... Leclerc's in the wall! You called it! The wooden, you called it! Leclerc has put it in the wall! You... Oh, the wooden, are you psychic? Wow. Charles Leclerc pushed too hard. Also, Motorsport fan. I can't believe it. Motorsport fan said, I'm now concerned if Leclerc's going to push too hard in this session. And there he is. He's in the wall. Wow. He's in the wall. You called it. Wow. F1 community. F1 grandstand community calling it. They said it. You said it. Motorsport fan, the wooden, everyone. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, there it is. Pushed it too hard. Exactly that. Driver error. Pushing too hard. Oh, it's way too fast into that corner. No grip. What was he thinking? Lock up. Oh, there's no way. No way he's making it around that 90-degree left-hander at that speed. Not a chance. Okay. That's Leclerc. Out. Okay, so that's my prediction. My prediction of Leclerc being on the front row. Out. But so red flag, 7 minutes left. They're going to have to clean the track up again. Wow. At the moment, you got Sainz P1. 7 minutes. And if the rain comes, ladies and gentlemen, that means we could see Sainz on pole with Lawson P2 and Hadjar P3 on a track that's incredibly difficult to overtake. That would make for a very interesting Grand Prix. Bring on the rain. I'm here for it. I'm here for the drama. I know. You're right, Motorsports fan. Looking like Ferraris were looking like contention for pole to double disaster. That's right. I might nick that for my thumbnail later. Ferrari double disaster. Wow. Yeah. It's I want it to rain now. I want it to absolutely piss it down. Torrential rain. And I want Sainz to hold on to that pole time. Like, it's good for the sport. I love wet races. I love left field results because of circumstance. Yeah, I'm here for it. Let's see Sainz, Lawson, Hadjar 1, 2, and 3 at the start of Baku tomorrow. I'm here for it. It is raining, though. It's definitely raining. And Sainz put in a pretty good time. It was a 141.5. You're not going to get a wet lap as quick as that. So the paint's getting slippery. Let's bring on the rain. And this delay while they clean up the track, it just means that that track is getting wetter. I'm here for it. I'm here for a Sainz pole. The drama. I love it. I think it'd be great for Williams as well. Like, you know, if you've been watching Formula One for as long as I have, and I'm sure some of you have, remembering the glory days of the newly designed Williams cars with Villeneuve, Hill, Coulthard, Mansell, Senna. You know, I would like to see Williams being competitive. I don't want to see him as a mid-team. I want to see them up there challenging for titles. I do. I'm a romantic like that. Well, this could be brilliant. If the rain starts coming down, we could see Carlos Sainz getting his first pole in a Williams. That you're just watching the replay of Charles Leclerc putting it in the wall. Wow. Absolutely driver error. No mechanical reason. No external reason. I don't think it had anything to do with the rain coming down. He just overcooked it. Simple as that. He just overcooked it. He came in hot. Couldn't make the 90-degree left. He was just pushing too hard. Just pushing too hard. I'm sure, weirdly though, I'm quite sure Hamilton will be quite pleased about that because he went out in what, P12. If Leclerc had put that on pole, that would have really pissed Hamilton off. The fact that Leclerc's put it in the wall, which means he's P10, and he's only one row further forward than Hamilton, I think secretly Hamilton will be quite chuffed with that. Oh, the Wooden said there was rain and Max said it was slippery and to cut him some slack. Welcome back. I'm so stupid, Leclerc. Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, brilliant. Because he did. Was that 2017 when that that famous radio message when that was another time he got pole. Yeah, I'm so stupid. You're right. 2019. That's right. 2019. Yeah. Brilliant. That famous message. I'm so stupid. I can't do the accent. I think Gemma loves it when I do accents, but I'm terrible at accents. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. That's my French accent, Leclerc. Probably offended lots of people. But yeah. No, Gemma, I'm not doing Toto Wolff impression. There's no reason for it. If Russell gets pole, I'll do it. Yeah. It's not at the castle section this time, but we'll always remember Leclerc for this in Baku. That's right. It was just at the bottom of the Monument Hill, wasn't it? Where it narrows to 25 foot in a really narrow part. Ah, I'm so stupid. Yeah. Bring on the rain. I'm rooting for Carlos Sainz now. Obviously, my predictions are all out the window. I just want some chaos for tomorrow for the start of the Grand Prix. I just want some drama. I want some chaos to ensue with Sainz on pole. That's what I want. I can't really tell from the television though. Can you tell on your television? Is the rain getting worse? I really can't tell whether the rain's getting worse or not. They're still cleaning up the track, I know that. Yeah, exactly, the Wooden. If the grid starts in this order, there will be carnage. And I want that. Like, that'll be super exciting for tomorrow. Having those three literally blocking the track. Because all they're going to do is bunch up the rest of the field, and you're right, carnage will ensue because it's impossible to overtake. There'll be incidents, and you will see a lot of racing incidents, which will mean that we could have one of those freak results where some of the mid teams end up on the podium. And I like that. I like a race like that. Those are the races we remember. Those crazy races where all of a sudden you see Nico Hulkenberg on the podium, right? Is one podium his entire career. And if so, yeah, I'm actually rooting for it. Also, don't forget, Sainz had caused some beefs with both racing bulls in the last few weekends. Oh, wow. Hadjar is furious with Sainz, isn't he? Hadjar, every time he gets in the car, whether it's practice, qualifying, or in the race, constantly thinks that Carlos Sainz is out to get him, stop him, get in his way, cause an obstruction. You're right. Hadjar is furious with Carlos Sainz. So that would be fascinating if it starts off like that. Yeah, it would be brilliant. Yeah, I'm here for it. I want the rain to I just want the rain to fall. Slow that track right down, make it super slippery. And let Carlos Sainz walk over pole. And then Lawson and Hadjar can fight it out. Those two fighting out next to each other would be interesting, though. Because I actually think those two drivers, even though Hadjar has had a standout season as a rookie, he has. Brilliant. I still think Lawson is a very good driver. Bit Tempestuous, I think is probably the word. But Lawson wants to beat Hadjar, 100% he does. And also, how would Verstappen react to being behind Sainz, Lawson and Hadjar? Because you got the Racing Bulls in front of Max Verstappen's Red Bull. Do you think there could be some sort of orders that would allow Verstappen to move up into second place? There shouldn't be, but we all know Racing Bulls, part of the Red Bull family, it is their sister team. Could there be any team shenanigans if it started off Sainz, Lawson, Hadjar, Verstappen? Because if Verstappen goes past Lawson and Hadjar, there's then two Racing Bulls between him and the McLarens, and then obviously the Mercedes after that. That's the perfect scenario for Red Bull, isn't it? The perfect scenario for Red Bull. So I wonder, this comes back to my point, why Red Bull should not have two teams on the grid. It shouldn't be allowed, should it? Because in this is a prime example. If what we're looking at now was Sainz, Lawson, Hadjar, P1, P2, P3, and Verstappen P4, it's the perfect situation where Red Bull could influence Racing Bulls to allow Verstappen to get past and take two places. Oh, Kimi Antonelli noted for a red flag infringement. Oh, Lewis Hamilton's talking. Saying the car's looking good. Pace was good, he said. He said he didn't have the right tyre on. At the end, he said obviously everyone's in agreement that the medium tyre is the better tyre. And because of the schedule, their tyre schedule meant he was on the soft tyre, and the soft tyre was not quick enough. So purely from tyre selection, Hamilton is saying why he did not make it through to Q3. So Hamilton obviously disappointed. Felt he was just on the wrong tyre at the wrong time. And that's what cost him his Q3. Leclerc, we need to hear from. I wonder what his explanation is for putting that Ferrari in the wall at the beginning of Q3. But they are all coming out again now. Is the track wet? Let's see. Let's see the times. 7 minutes. Hopefully the track's wet and no one's going to improve their times. That's what I'm hoping for. But you still got Norris and Piastri, Russell and Anthony and Tsunoda to put times in. So really, Norris, Piastri, Russell all could go quicker than Sainz, but all comes down to that track temperature and how wet the track is. 7 minutes. Could someone push too hard and end up in a wall? Could we see another red flag? All is possible. It's all possible. Just 7 minutes left of this qualifying session. Well, if this is a red flag infringement for Kimi Antonelli, then yeah, he's gonna get red flag infringements. They come down in like a ton of bricks. You can get up to 4 points on your racing license as well. Behrman got 4 points for a red flag infringement. You don't want that as a rookie driver. But this is it. The final business end, unless we get another red flag. Only 9 drivers remaining. Leclerc out. The track does look a little wet, you know. I haven't got that yet. How have you seen that, motorsport fan? It's not happened in my... You must be getting a feed quicker than me. Oh yeah, I am behind. Red flag. Piastri in the wall. Oh, wow. Piastri puts it in the wall. You're right. I had paused my... I was a minute behind you guys. This qualifying is off the charts. The final sector is slippery and Piastri is in the wall. I'm actually... You've been watching a couple of minutes ahead of me. I've actually now where I should be. Wow. Another error for Piastri. Wow. This is looking good for Colin. Come on, Sainz. We've all got to be rooting for him, haven't we? Haven't we got to be rooting for him? The Sainz, Lawson, Hadjar 1, 2, 3. We've all got to be rooting for that. Just for the drama tomorrow. Just for the drama of the start of that race. It would be brilliant. It would be brilliant. Yeah, Brazil last year, yeah. Yeah, I agree that crash would hurt head on into the barrier. Not a pleasant one, that actually. Wrists. Yeah, that's gonna be a stinger. Wow. So, Piastri out, Leclerc out. That means Norris could put in a lap. But like the Wooden said, the slippy parts of this track now. So, is anyone really going to get into the 141s? Who's still running the medium tyre? So, Motorsport fans, I'm now wondering, will some of these guys who crash have to change parts and have to get grid pens? It depends on the damage, right? It depends on the damage. Will they have to start from the pit lane? I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. What is the regulation? What are you allowed to change? Oh yeah, Motorsport fans says, let's bet. Are we getting one more red flag? Yeah, this watch long's been great, the Wooden, hasn't it? This one's been really fascinating. When there's drama, it's fun, isn't it? I mean, this is... so, do we think we'll get one more red flag? I actually think it's possible. I do think... I don't think it's impossible. And if I had to bet, we've had 6 red flags. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. So, if we're going to make a bet, who do we think is the most likely out of the remaining drivers to put the car in the wall? I'm going to go with my guess. If somebody else is going to put the car in the wall, my guess is, let me have a look. Antonelli. I'm going with Anton. You're saying Lando. I'm going to take Antonelli. Who are you going to take, the Wooden? I'm saying if somebody's putting it in the wall, I'm taking Antonelli. So, Motorsports fan saying Lando Norris is most likely to put it in the wall. What are you saying, Gemma? Who's most likely to put it in the wall and cut? Oh, no, Tsunoda's out there. Oh, I think we've missed one there. You're going with Antonelli as well. That was my guess. Okay, you can have Antonelli. I'm going to go with Tsunoda. I'm going to go with Sonoda. Because he was... I'm going to go with Sonoda. Because he could definitely push a little hard and put it in the wall for me. But my original guess was Antonelli. I'm not hating. I'm not picking on Yuki. I'm just saying he's under a lot of pressure. And he's under a lot of pressure. How crazy will it be if it's Verstappen? I know. I know. 3 minutes 40 left. I'm just rooting for this freak result of having Carlos Sainz, Lawson and Hadjar as your top 3 drivers. I'd love this. Just for the drama. Hey, come on. Sit. Good boy. Wow, still cleaning up the track. The wet weather master won't bin it. No, I know. I think it's highly unlikely Verstappen's going to put it in the wall. Highly unlikely. I think my guesses would be Antonelli, Sonoda. Norris is an interesting one because he's going to push hard. I think Hadjar is possible as well. I think the rookies. I think Hadjar could put it in the wall. I do think that's possible. I do think Hadjar has got it in him to put it in the wall. So we're watching the Piastri crash. Oh, God, didn't make the corner at all. Soft tyre. This soft tyre is not performing well at all. I don't know whether it's because the track is a little wet, but the medium definitely is the correct tyre choice. I mean, Sainz's time on the medium tyre was 141.59. Lawson 142.5. So Sainz has got a second on Lawson. But if that track if the track is damp, that 141.59 on that medium tyre is a good time. He could hold. I wonder what he's feeling right now, sat in the pits. He must be just be thinking, just 3.5 minutes to change my life, to change my season. Because to go from being, P18 in the driver's standings, only scoring 16 points, and your teammate has scored 70 points, and I think Alexander Albon's best result is P5. Well, Sainz could put in, a top 5 performance here. And he could even get a pole, which would be unbelievable for Williams. And it's such a hard track to overtake on. So yeah, I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for the chaos. I like the Wooden said, could you imagine the start of the Grand Prix tomorrow with the faster cars behind those 3? I just wonder whether team orders. I just wonder whether the Racing Bulls can have an impact on Verstappen's race that I believe would be unfair. It'd be unfair. And it would damage the integrity of the Grand Prix. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to be cross-team orders, obviously, but we all know that Racing Bulls are Red Bull's sister team. So will they help Max if it stays like it is now? Will they help Max Verstappen? I mean, really, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc and Tsunoda, none of them has put in a time in Q3, and there's only 3 minutes 41 seconds left. It's freakish. Absolutely freakish, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Anything can happen in Formula One. It's made this watch long really, really good fun. So Lando's feeling the pressure now, I think. He's sat waiting to come out again. Slippier track. The rain has... is it still raining? I can't tell. Can you tell on your televisions? Is it still raining? Is it still raining? Yeah. It is still raining. Getting wetter. The track is getting wetter. Yeah. 3.5 minutes to change the lives of Carlos Sainz. Liam Lawson, he'd be delighted with a P2, wouldn't he? Especially out qualifying Hadjar. Wouldn't do him any harm for his bid to getting that Racing Bull seat, because you got to remember Liam Lawson is fighting for his 2026 seat. It's been said that Yuki is in contention for the seat that he is in. Yuki's not going to be driving for Red Bull, but he could be driving for the Racing Bulls instead of Lawson, because Arvid Lindblad looks absolutely nailed on to be promoted into that Racing Bulls team. Oscar Piastri saying he braked a little bit late. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. He really did brake a little late. We saw it. So Piastri is saying the track is a little wet in places. The rain has made a difference to the speed of the track. I think Carlos Sainz is nailed on for this pole position, you know. I do. Hadjar and Lawson, I mean, they're a second behind him, so they may be at risk. But Carlos Sainz looks pretty good. Okay, they're coming back out now. 3 minutes 41. We know our bets of who we think might put it in the wall in the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds to bring on another red flag. I've said Yuki Tsunoda's my bet. If anyone's going to put it in the wall, it's him. I think the Wooden said Antonelli. I think Gemma said Antonelli. And I think that Motorsport fan said Lando Norris. Well, let's see if any of us are right. Let's see if any of us are correct. It could be that. Only 3 minutes and 40 seconds left of Q3 to decide your grid for the Baku circuit. Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Okay, so Lawson and Hadjar have come out on the soft tyres. I don't think that's going to... Antonelli's out on the medium tyre, which I think is the right tyre. Sainz is staying on the medium tyre, which is the right tyre. It's definitely been the quickest tyre over this weekend. 8 drivers left. No Leclerc, no Oscar Piastri. 8 drivers left. James Vowles very excited, I think, trying to at the prospect of Williams getting their first pole position under his stewardship. Special day for them if they do. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Let's see what Lando Norris has got in the pocket. Russell overtook Sainz on the pits. I don't know whether that's an infringement or not. I think the stewards are looking at it. Yeah, this is the lap, motorsport fan. This is it. This is the lap. So Norris on his fast lap now. This is the lap that counts. Russell on his quick lap. Wow. Norris first sector. Is he quicker than Sainz? Let's see. Only 8 drivers left in Q3. We're about to find out. First sector time. Slower than Carlos Sainz in the first sector by 3/10. The track has slowed. Oh, can you imagine being in that Williams team right now? Your heart will be pumping. It's raining. He's going for it, Norris. He's aggressive. Riding the curbs. He's hit the wall. Norris has touched the wall. Who predicted that? I think it was Motorsport fan that said Norris was going to hit the wall. It hasn't caused a red flag, but he did touch the wall. Verstappen, quickest of all in the first sector. Yeah. Super Max could change the game here. Max is the dangerous man here. Well, Russell, P2. 5/10 behind Sainz. Verstappen is slower than Sainz by 5/10. Lawson. Wow. P2. A 10th. A 10th behind Sainz. Wow. Antonelli. A P3. Hadjar P6. What can Verstappen do here? Verstappen takes pole. Verstappen, mighty Max takes pole. Still, Carlos Sainz on the first row of the grid. P2, he is going to be delighted. Lawson, P3 is a fantastic result. Exactly what he needed to stake a claim for that seat for 2026. Antonelli, well done. All the pressure he's under. Out qualifying Russell for the first time this season. And P4, Russell, P5. Tsunoda with probably his best qualifying performance in P6. Norris, P7. Hadjar, P8. Wow. 3 Racing Bull drivers in the top 3, technically. Yeah, exactly. Tsunoda, Lawson, Hadjar. Wow. But again, Liam Lawson, 5/10 quicker than Tsunoda. I mean, those two are fighting and battling it out for that remaining Red Bull, Racing Bull seat. I mean, Lawson, if you think about what he's had to go through, dropped after Red Bulls after just a couple of races, absolutely confident at all rock bottom. And now to come back, and he has been getting better and better over the last 5 Grand Prix. Hadjar setting the pace as a rookie, doing exceptionally well. But Lawson, to bounce back from that disappointment, I mean, that's some winner mentality, that is. Credit where it's due. He'll be delighted with P3. Verstappen, though, you can never rule him out, can you? Carlos Sainz on his team radio saying thank you to his team. Them congratulating him on his drive. It's a brilliant result. It's a brilliant result for Williams. And it just throws that wild card into the mix for the start of the Grand Prix tomorrow. Absolutely fantastic. Mighty Max does it again. Did we ever have a doubt? I actually did. I thought the rain was going to play a part, but Mighty Max coming in there with a brilliant pole position again. That's 2 poles on the trot, 1 in Monza, 1 in Baku. Will Max go on and win the Grand Prix from there? It actually does look very good for Red Bull. This track is not the easiest track to overtake. So it's a great result for Max Verstappen. McLaren are going to have to fight for their points tomorrow. But yeah, Verstappen and Sainz, the two ex-teammates on the front row, absolutely. And Verstappen said he liked being teammates with Carlos Sainz. Just imagine where Albon would have been if he hadn't crashed out. Exactly. Albon could have been up there also. He was quicker than Sainz all weekend. That Williams, deservedly so, I think, getting such a good result. And Lawson, P3. Excellent result for Liam Lawson. It's been so great, this qualifying session. God, it's been long, hasn't it? All the red flags, but it's been so much fun. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank the Wooden. I want to thank Motorsport Fan. I want to thank Gemma and everyone else who's popped in the chat. This has been great fun. I will be back tomorrow for the race at 2 o'clock for our watch long, or 1:45 actually, 15 minutes before the race I'll be going live. You'll see it, hit the bell, hit the notification. Please smash a like on the video, by the way, as well. It makes a big difference to the success of the channel. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. It's been a lot of fun. I will see you all tomorrow just before the race starts, and we can all enjoy the race together. And Motorsport Fan says, what's the weather forecast for the race? I don't know, but let's pray for rain, baby. All right, guys. Ta-ta. I'll see you all tomorrow.